The gentleman who was driving had no idea that he even hit anything. He was oblivious to the fact that he ran over that sign. That could have easily been a person, a tree, and the tree, it could be fatal.
It's very scary. We've got kids all over this neighborhood, and it's terrifying to think that there's drivers out there like that.
Now it's a sign, but next it's going to be a people.
What is this? What are we talking about?
A guy in Florida drunk driving on Sunday and crashed into a sign that said drive sober or get pulled over. So
no.
He actually ran into the sign that said that.
While he was drunk.
So
And driving.
And that's the sign he decided to hit, was the drunk driving sign. Drive sober or get pulled over.
I put that on Florida.
That's a Florida problem? That they put that sign in the wrong place?
They didn't give him enough options.
Next is going to be a people.
Yeah, next time it's going to be a people.
But next is going to be a people.
Well, hopefully there won't be a next time. Hopefully they took his license away because, well, then again, it's Florida.
Yeah, it's Florida. They just slap your hand like that and say, no. And then you go right back out and start driving again.
Well, first you got to crack open a beer.
Well, the problem is he's not 140 years old. All the other drivers in Florida are 140 years old. So even drunk, I think he drives better than most of the people on the road in Florida.
I know, it's so crazy. My grandparents had friends down there. We used to go down there to visit. I couldn't believe the age, like the median age of the people.
Yeah, people.
That were driving.
Mm-hmm.
Were well into their 80s. Isn't there a point where you go, you know what? I'm going to hang up the old driving and take a cab. There were no Ubers back then, but there were always cabs.
I think it's up to your family at that point to say, stop it, Dad, we have to take your license away. You can't drive anymore. But once they get to Florida, they're retiring. You can't watch them all the time. They have to get to the doctor and the drugstore and all that. So they're going to drive.
Yeah, people.
But there's all kinds of buses and services to take them.
You see people walk into a doctor's office that can barely walk.
Yeah, people.
And they drove there.
And they drove themselves there.
I mean, you ask them, how did you get here? Oh, I drove. It took you 45 minutes to get from the door to that door walking, but you drove here. Yeah, this is what we have to deal with on the road.
Yeah, well, this is why we don't live in Florida. Feels very dangerous down there. It's not the drunk drivers, it's the old drivers.
It's even that way here. I mean, you have to take mom and dad's license away at a certain point. But, I mean, I could say that for my parents. I don't think my parents should be driving, but they are.
Do they drive safely?
They've never really driven safely.
Right. But why would they start now?
My mom really can't drive. And my stepfather, I think at one point when he was 40, 50, 60, he was a decent driver. Now he's getting up there.
Right.
It's not good anymore.
Yet, but they insist on driving. Why don't they make them retake their driver's test at a certain age? How come you don't turn 75 and have to go back to the DMV and prove that you get another 10 years on your license?
I think you should do that. But like my parents, they couldn't get an Uber to go anywhere.
Why?
Because Ubers aren't going out that far. I mean, they're in the woods. I guarantee there's no Ubers out there.
Right, but there's cabs. Cabs will come get you anywhere.
I don't think there's even a cab. I mean, you are closer to cows than you are cabs.
Well, then have them take a cow to the doctor.
But I'm not watching them either. So
Right.
They could be driving back. They could be driving every single day. I don't know. But I can't go up to them and say, give me your license. You're not doing this anymore.
I can't drive with my mother because she drives way too fast. I've never seen a speed demon like that in my life. She's gotten more speeding tickets in her life than I've had boyfriends.
Oh, that's impossible. But that's strange that she is at that age and she drives fast.
She always drove fast. It hasn't changed. I was thinking, you get a little older, you sort of slow down. No, I just went for a drive with her recently. We had to go on a road trip together up to Connecticut. Oh, my God. She was like passing people and weaving in and out of traffic. I was like, you do realize that you can drive the speed limit or a little over and you'll be fine. You don't have to go 90 miles an hour, right?
Yes,
you
do.
understand that.
Because in New York, you have to drive that way. If you don't drive that way, you're going to get ran over or you're going to get into an accident. You have to either drive very defensively or not drive at all in New York.
Yeah, that's she drives fast and defensively. I don't drive at all. Between the two of us, we even at all the stats.
So that's what you tell the cop when he pulls you over for the speeding ticket. Okay, I know she was doing 90 at a 50, but I haven't driven all year.
I don't have a license, so it's okay.
So just take that in half and let us go.